Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Planet Pathlings. I am Spin Pixie, your Monday hostess. I hope you have had a wonderful new year and holiday season, and I'm glad to see you back with us for this new year. Being that it is the new calendar year, I figured that we would take some time to talk about any traditions that we have for the new calendar year. Now, as everyone knows, Samhain is the turning of the wheel and the beginning of the pagan new year. So many witches do have traditions that they uphold around that time of year and that time of year only. However, there are certain witches who like to start certain things in the calendar year, and I am one. Now, don't get me wrong, there are things that I do start at Samhain. Anything major, like I do my fall cleaning instead of my spring cleaning, because spring cleaning is ridiculously hot here for spring cleaning, and by the time that spring rolls around, it's pretty much summer. So I'm not trying to clean in the heat. I'd rather clean when it's cold so I can keep my heater off and my body temperature up. So I'll do a fall cleaning versus spring cleaning. I will put up my altar for the fall season, and that will encompass Samhain and Yule, and it'll be the seasonal part of the altar, which the only things that will change really is the certain decorations will leave for Samhain, and then leave decorations will change again for Yule. But the basic premise of the altar is still a very fall type feel, a very dark time type feel. I will do a lot of different things like decorating for the holidays and stuff like that at the time of Samhain. And so at the new calendar year, it's time to make sure that all those decorations are taken down. It's time to give cadence for the new year, to start everything off, fresh and new. For the calendar year, because that's usually how your business is run, how your like if you have a job, like if you're working, that's how your job runs. So there's something to be said for working things at the calendar year too. So me personally, I like to start projects at the new calendar year. For example, if I'm taking on another method of study, like if something's kind of got me wanting to investigate it, I'll start it at the calendar year. I don't know, I think it's something about that is just easier to mark for me than starting it at Samhain. So if I decide that there's a particular sect of paganism that's really got me curious, I'll start that at the calendar year. I recently had a breakthrough in my ancestry study, or excuse me, my ancestry quest to find out more about my heritage, and that leads me to stuff that I want to learn about and study within this calendar year. So things like that are what I like to start. If I'm going to start a project such as, spinning wool for spells or oils, making my oils ready and stuff, I'll start those on the calendar year too. I don't know why. There's just certain oils that I will start at the calendar year. And the other thing that I like to do is if I've started something at Samhain, I like to check in with myself. I like to give myself a progress report at the new year. Where am I going with this, this venture? What am I doing? Am I enjoying it? What needs to be changed, if anything? That kind of stuff. I just kind of check in with myself, make sure that I really am getting something out of what I'm studying. I recently got a hold of some new books, so I'll be definitely starting new books this calendar year. That's one of the other things I like to do is I like to sort of take a tabulation every year of how many books I actually get through, and not just get through, but get something from. And I start that kind of project at the new year as well. And the other thing I like to start at the new year is if when I take down all the decorations for fall, like the Yule decorations, Samhain decorations, all that kind of stuff, and put them all away, sometimes deities want to be moved. Sometimes I have altars that want to change places. Like if my fairy altar wants to be outside near, the little running water fairy ponds that I have outside versus inside. Or if, my deity wants one altar or one altar space over another, then whether I want her to or not, she'll end up with it. So things like that change. So what you're looking at right now is an altar that doesn't have a designated purpose right now. I don't have a purpose in mind for what I want to do with it yet. And that's really interesting because I have a feeling that this altar is going to be dedicated to ancestry. I just don't know yet. But I have a feeling that it will end up being dedicated to ancestry. And sometimes things like that happen. One deity moves their altar somewhere else to make room for another deity or to make room for another method of study. And that does not mean that they're moving away from you. It just means that they're telling you that something is coming into your life to be prepared. So that's what this is. And so there are things that I'll put away, that I'll cleanse and put away, just to make room for whatever is to come. And so yeah, I like to start a lot of things in the calendar year, just because I find it easier to mark the time on the Gregorian calendar versus trying to mark it in a way where it's like on the 1st of November, which just seems like on a calendar, like, the end of the year-ish, and I don't know, I'm Virgoan, so it just looks neater that way, to start everything on the 1st of the year. Like, this is what I started on the 1st of the year. So it's easier that to, in 3 months' time, come back to it and be like, okay, this is where I am now. And I try to do a check with myself every 3 months to see what I'm doing, or what progress I've made. So that's pretty much all I do on the new year is I clean things up, I put some decorations away, I check in with any projects I started on Samhain, I start whatever physical projects or method of study that I'd like to start on the new year, new books, new journals. If I have an old journal that's almost full, I'll just start a new journal, stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. So, if you guys have any new year traditions, new calendar year traditions, I'd love to hear them. Please just let me know in the comment section. I love hearing from you guys, because I do know a lot of people do a lot of their beginning of the year stuff at Samhain, but maybe you're like me and you think that it looks cleaner on a calendar to start at the 1st of the year. So who knows, let me know in the comment section. And thank you guys so very much for watching. And we'll be back with some awesome new stuff and new collaborators this year. So I hope you guys really enjoy, and I'll see you soon. Have a wonderful week and many blessings. Bye-bye.